Hey, what's happening? How's everybody doing tonight? Couple things first, right off the bat, that I need to get to. We had some news this week, and it was really good news. I got approached and asked if I wanted to partner, so to speak, with Idora Entertainment. And they came to me and they said, "Hey, we love your show. We love the Rock Altar, Rock Would Be Rocked, and the Rock Altar. And we would like to put your radio station on our website and partner with you." So I, of course, said yes. Mike Floros. They have bands like Steel City on there, Love and Chains, among others, and they're building. They're getting more and growing, and you obviously I'm trying to grow, so it felt like a perfect match. I know Mike, and I know how he is, and he's a fantastic guy. He supports me in all my endeavors, and I've always supported him in all of his. I love Steel City. He's in that band. Love and Chains. He's in that band, and he puts out some really good music, and he's got a lot of great ideas in the works. And it's going to be fun to be building with them, promoting them, doing whatever they would like me to do. So that is one of the news. And we also know that Rockstar Graphics and Designs is partnered with the Rock Altar and Rocket Would Be Rock. They are my official graphics and designs guy. Rob over there, Rob De Gregorio. It's I always screw his name up. I know he's listening and he's like, "You screwed my name up again." But anyway, so graphic design work, anything you need, they are a sponsor of the Rock Altar and Rock Would Be Rock. Yeah, baby. So let's get to the show, man. This is a good one. I've been looking forward to this for like 2 weeks. Um, Giuliana Amaral. I hope I'm saying that right. But she was on The Voice a couple weeks ago, and I've known about her. I've known about her for a couple years now. She's with a band called Band Inc., not as INK, it is INC dot Incorporated. Band Incorporated. Kind of like Metallica, Damage Incorporated. Probably not, but I like it. But anyway, she was on The Voice, and I noticed it, and I saw her performance, and she killed it. She did his Dio song and killed it. But she didn't make it to the next round, which who cares? We are not in it for that. She got known, she got recognized, she got out there, and that's all that matters. She got noticed, and I other people were noticing her too, and so it is really good. And I just reached out. I said, "Hey, can you come on my show?" And she said, "Absolutely." So I see her down here, but it doesn't look like her video is working. But let's bring her on. Just Juliana, are you there?
Yes, I am. It says that my picture should show. Let me try something real quick.
Let's see your picture. It says
Uh,
imaging webcam or whatever. But
it's
Juliana is probably not perfectly all made up and everything. So she's like, "I don't want nobody to see me," and this and that. Whatever. It's all
Oh
good.
boy, I worked hard on my makeup too. So this is.
Oh man.
Oh, camera, is it this one right here? High definition. Oh, that's why. Okay, I had it on.
There she is. Look at that. You're a musician. You're not
No, I'm
technical.
not.
If it
I
was
wish I was.
amps or bass or microphones, you're all in it. But webcams, I don't know what I'm doing.
Not too good with it. Not too
Not
good.
too good. But you did it. Look at that. Hey, you know what?
Awesome.
I have a running joke, and you're probably gonna like leave right when I say this. I say,
No,
getting on here is so easy. A bass player could do it. I'm a
exactly.
I'm a drummer. I'm a terrible drummer, but I'm a drummer nonetheless. And if I could do it, I think anybody can do it. Really.
I'm the first one to poke fun at myself. I'm a bass player, so all the bass humor, I welcome it. I'm not gonna get
Right.
offended. It's funny to me.
We all pick on each other. I mean, lead singers are them drama queens, and guitar players are just all in it for the fame and fortune and glory, and it is what it is.
Mhm.
But
100%. Thank you so much for having me on before
thank
anything. I really
you. I mean,
appreciate
it was
you
like
reaching
so.
out.
I sit there and I go, normally I miss the boat on people. I don't realize that. Oh my God, they're making news, and hey, how about get them on? And I'm always wondering. And then I saw that I was like, I was sitting at lunch or whatever, and I said, wait a minute, let's get her on. I want to talk to this girl, man. I want to know what's going on with her. Uh, I've heard your band. I've known about Band Inc. I've known of shows you're doing. I think we have a show we're doing together coming up in January, um, the 24th. I
I
do
believe
believe. I
so. Which
believe
was
you're.
I was a little confused about because I actually believe we had a scheduling conflict. We'll talk.
We'll
We'll
talk about
discuss
that later.
it. But I believe there was like a little scheduling thing. But if it does happen, I'm looking forward to meeting in
Right.
person. Really cool.
Right. And I was like, okay, cool. And I've known, about your band for a little while, and I love the band. I think you guys are doing a really good job. You're everywhere. I always see something about Band Inc. somewhere, and it's
That's
always on
good.
Facebook.
That's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, you know?
Exactly, 100%. And if I can, like, thank you to everyone who's always been supportive throughout the years. This has been a project of mine and now of my bandmates and I. I finally found people who are as passionate as I am about this, and it means the world that people actually like listen and tune into all this stuff. So thank you so much.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's nice to you find the people just as passionate as you. It might take a little while, you go through people and this and that. You got to find what gels, and like who's in your band now?
Okay,
Who's
so my band, as you know, I'm Giuliana. I play bass. On guitar, we
Yes.
have one of my very good friends, Crispy Borel. He is a guitarist and he does background vocals, and he is my co-writer. We write songs together. All the new songs that are going to come out, which we do have some stuff coming out that I'm very excited about. But all the stuff that will be coming out soon, me and him wrote earlier this year. He is like my musical brother on stage.
Nice.
Fun together. As far as the drums go, so we have the way the drums work is on the East Coast and the West Coast. We have two different drummers because it's kind of, as you know, with drums, it's kind of easier that way. That way we don't
It
have to.
kind of is. It's a
It's kind of
little less expensive.
it just to carry all that equipment
Right.
too. Kind of like so here we have a buddy of mine who I've known for years. Jeremy is his name. He plays here with us. But in California, we have Francis Casol, who is a good friend of ours. He's killer on those drums. So we get
Very
super
cool.
excited to when we go on the West Coast. We're like, oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's the
Nice.
power team.
Right. And then if you could get them both at the same time, you just set them both up and just go for it.
I've seen that happen. I actually
Right.
saw Queen, and there were two drummers, Roger Taylor and another guy. So I'm like, hey, it's not weird. Like people actually do this. So no,
Right. I mean, yeah, I did see you saw Queen. I know that's one of your favorites. You
one
did
of my
a
all time.
you Yes, you did a YouTube a couple months back that I noticed.
Oh, it
And
was
I
actually 2020. Yeah, and it's fun. People watch that. I always say the one sentence I always say to that is, "It's a type of magic." That's it.
Nice. Right. And you did that. I mean, I can't remember the name of the song.
Love of my
Uh,
life.
yes. And I
Yeah,
was
my
like, oh my
favorite.
God, you know, we know you as well. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. Well, because I found another one that we're gonna show, and
All
I
right.
know I think you know the other one, and it just got me. I was like, wow, this
Oh.
it shows the other side. Singers have two different sides. They really do, and yes, you might be able to sing rock, and it is. It's not the most difficult, you
No.
know, but it's not
It's
the
the most fun. It's the most
it's the
fun to
most
sing. I'll
fun.
always say that.
Right. But then, if you want, emotion and this and that. You look to see if a singer can sing this, and I always love watching YouTube videos. I watch Shez Kane puts them out, and a bunch of different artists. What's their name from Plush puts them out, and I love watching them, and it shows different sides of them. And I saw this one of you. Well, and I'm going to show it later, but I was like floored. And it had me tearing. And
Oh,
oh
I'm
my
so
God, I
sorry.
was no, good tears.
Good
I mean,
tears.
and
Okay.
everybody watching, when I play this, you're gonna be tearing up. I
Well,
guarantee
thank
it.
you so much. That
And
means a lot.
right,
With singing, becoming a singer was kind of a crazy adventure to me. I never thought I'd be a singer. I started out as a
really
bass player. Long story short, before my grandpa came to America, he was a bass player. He played in a Beatles tribute band with his brothers. So he was
nice,
Paul McCartney. He had like the suit and everything. It was fun. But
nice.
he left that all behind, and he wanted to, he became a mechanic, and he's like, I'm never gonna be in music ever again. And then
Wow,
and then I was born, and I started out as a classical pianist. That's what I thought I was gonna do. I thought, I was gonna grow up and I was gonna do orchestral work. I used to do the youth orchestras, and I'm not gonna lie, that stuff was really boring. Like, there's only so much you can do because
right,
you don't have, there's these pieces that were mastered, and it's like you can't add anything to them to make them your style. They've been written
right.
by these composers. You can't do anything about it. So my grandpa, he was like, I can tell that, I see you perform in these shows, you're not enjoying yourself. So like, why don't you try like bass guitar or something like that? And I was like, "Oh, do you think I could do it or something like, do you think I could actually go forward with this?" And he's like, "Oh, he offered me bass lessons like for a few months, and I fell in love with the instrument. And then
Nice,
new plan arrived. I was like, I'm gonna be a bass player. That's it."
right,
That was the point that I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn all these rock songs. I got big into bands like Queen and Led Zeppelin and all these
nice.
iconic bands.
Dio,
Dio, like, Motorhead's like my number.
nice,
Oh my god, I got my Motorhead.
very good.
And I just started learning about these incredible bass players, and maybe I was 16. I wanted to start like my own band, and I
Wow,
just could not find a singer. No one wanted to sing these songs that I liked. They'd be like, "Oh my god," like this guy's like yelling,
wow,
"How am I gonna do this?" And I tell people like, "Oh, it's not." Hopefully one day we'll find a singer. And eventually I kind of got to a crossroads. I was like, what am I going to do here? So I kind of thought to myself, singing's not that hard. I think I can do it. I think I can. And it was hard. It was like, being
yes.
able to be in front of a microphone and being in front of people. I was terrified.
You're
And,
putting yourself right in the center, right at people's
exactly.
focal point.
Exactly. Being a bass player, you can just be at the
You
side.
can
No
hide
one's
by the
gonna
amps,
you can be
right?
there. No one's gonna be like, "What is the bass player doing?" No one's
Nobody, no,
noticing. But the singer, everyone's looking at you. So
right,
when I first sang in front of people, I didn't even tell anyone. I did like an open mic. I didn't tell my family, because I knew my family
right. You
was
didn't
gonna
want
go.
nobody to come.
And, someone recorded me and sent it to my mom, and my mom was like, "Who is this?" Like, she didn't know it was me. She was like, "Is this you singing?" I was like, I had like a hoodie on, trying to like
Right. Oh,
myself.
wow.
And she was actually really encouraging. She's like, "Juliana, like, you should really do more of this. Like, you should actually be the singer of the band that you're forming." So I decided, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put myself in front of a bunch of people. I'm gonna force myself out of the stage fright.
There
And
you go.
it was the best thing I ever did. So being a singer, to me, that's like that it's my favorite thing to do now. I play bass, I still play piano, but singing is a way that I can really express myself and, tell stories through music. So yeah,
Right.
being a singer is
Exactly.
it.
And I do the singer. When I watch a singer, okay, I went and saw Buck Cherry over the
I
summer.
love Buck Cherry.
Yes, and I never really thought I did. They were opening for Skid Row, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get through Buck Cherry, whatever.
Yeah.
And a singer gets you with their emotions on their face and
Mhm.
how they perform that song. They might be, he doesn't have a bass guitar, he doesn't have all that. He just has that microphone and his face and his
Yeah.
body language and his eyes. and
Mm.
I focused. For some reason, I was focused on this guy, and I'm like, I left there a huge Buck Cherry fan.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
this guy is just amazing. And it just,
Yeah.
he had me crying, had me laughing, had me all, every emotion. And it's like, a singer could do that. And you have that.
Thank
You
thank
tell
you.
that story through your face and your eyes, and I'm like, and I'm watching you, and this, like I said, I've been watching you for a couple of years now,
Thank you
and
so
you
much.
do tell that story, and you own it. You own the singing. I could have never guessed that you were shy about it because you own it right now. You were
Thank you.
on The
Yeah.
Voice in front of 30 million people. You own that shit.
Thank you. For years, yeah, it's still I'm really my family, my mom, she's my best friend. She's probably watching this now, but we're always talking about
Hi,
that.
Mom.
Hi, Mom. Speaking of Buck Cherry, no, she went to go see us open for them. And like you, she was like, "Oh, I know Buck Cherry, yeah." And she left, she's like, "That guy was awesome." Like,
Right?
he's got that stage presence.
He
And
does.
he's one of my favorite performers to go see live because the band is incredible, the songs are incredible,
Oh,
but
they're all over the place too.
they're all over the place too, and it's like he knows how to keep a crowd going. That's another thing about being a singer. It's like not only do you have to like get your message out there, you got to get the crowd going too. So
Right.
it's like he does a really good job at that. Like, gets everybody going, and then they get the energy from the crowd, and then the crowd gets it's just this constant back and forth of, hey ho kind of thing, just feeding off
Hey,
each
oh, hey,
other.
and you're learning that. I mean, you started out as a singer, and you go to shows and you watch and you
Mhm.
take a little bit of it, and we all do it. Every artist does it. They take a little from this one, and growing up,
Yeah.
I like of course John Bonham and Bobby
Yeah.
Blotzer and these guys and Mick Brown, and they were my favorites. And in my style, I always took a little from them. I'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, this. You just absorb things, and you have to do that as a singer, and you're just cruising right along and absorbing and making it your own as well. You're not just being somebody else, you're being your true self,
Mm.
but owning it and learning it as you go, and it's fun to watch.
Thank you so much. It's like you say, a lot of these artists, like I feel like growing up, I went through phases. Like I'm 22 now, but when I was like 14, I really got into Zeppelin. I would, after school, I, would do this music program, and the first song that I think I ever learned on bass was Black Dog by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wow.
And so that was the first one. And I remember thinking, I was like, who is this guy and why is he yelling at me? Like, he's so energetic. So after that, I went on a deep dive. After school, I'd like spend hours on YouTube. Like, I'd watch them on Royal Albert Hall, like that one performance in
Right.
97 that really, I saw that and I was like, I want to do that. I want to be in front of a crowd of people and I want to have that style that they do. So that was like the first band that got,
So
me.
that was one of my questions, is what was your moment? What was that one song that you saw and you went, that's it. I want to do that. That's the song that changed your life.
The song, that's a big one because there's a lot of them, but it has to be a Zeppelin song. And if I'm gonna be specific, oh my gosh. Actually that Royal Albert Hall video when they played, it was Good
Right.
Times, Bad Times. I remember when they
Oh,
came out
wow.
with that. And I was like, the energy, there's four guys on stage, there's not a lot of people on stage, so it's
Right.
like, okay, we really got to fill in this sound. And then John Bonham comes in, he's got like this thunderous sound to his drum kit. It's like, oh my god, all right, that's already a lot. Then you have, John Paul Jones on the bass.
Oh my
He's
God.
probably my all-time favorite bass player
Very
because
nice.
he as a bass player is just incredible. He's also like an incredible multi-instrumentalist, and
And he does not get enough credit. So
doesn't get enough credit. He's
he
just seen as
doesn't.
a bass player, and he does all
Right.
the, he does the no quarters, like the keys and everything.
Hmm.
He really, it fills in a lot of that space that if it weren't for him, like Led Zeppelin would kind of sound a little empty if it weren't for him.
Right.
Then you have like, Jimmy Page came out and he playing this solo like crazy. And then finally, like Robert Plant started singing, and I'm just like, these guys are incredible. So when I first heard that, it really showed me what rock and roll was. it was not just music, it's an attitude. You know, they come out on stage,
Attitude.
they're confident, they know that they can wow this crowd. So to me, that was like one of the first pieces of media that I saw that I was like, okay, I want to be a rock singer or a rock performer, because at the time I wasn't sure yet. What was I going to be, a singer? Was I going to commit to, commit to singing in front
Right.
of people, or was I going to be a bass player? But looking back on it now, that was definitely, one of the things that got me into this.
Very nice. And Led Zeppelin is, they influenced a lot of people. I mean,
A
they were
lot of
one of the
people.
first bands that I heard, Kansas, Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin, Blue Oyster Cult, Black Oak, Arkansas. Them were some of my early bands that were uh, I was born in 1970. I'm 53 years old. So, AM radio had all these guys, and then went to FM, and it was like, da, 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 da. And then I found mine in like 81. It was
Yeah.
Judas Priest, and that changed my life. Just
Yeah.
different sound, different direction. But,
Hmm.
the Led Zeppelins, and they were always there, and they're still there. They're still one of them bands, and all them bands from the 70s are still that good. They laid
They
the
live up to the
foundation.
test of time. Like
Yeah.
people younger than me now, they're like getting into it, and it's like I don't think there'll ever be a time when people are like, "Oh, it's outdated." It's not outdated, because
No.
people are still being influenced by them. You have newer bands that have this rock sound, and it's like, where'd you get that? Led Zeppelin, Black
Right.
Sabbath, all the Beatles, like, they get all this influence from them. They're like the
Right.
godfather of rock.
Right. And I hate when people say, "Okay, Greta Van Fleet came out. I
That's what
dig
I
'em.
was thinking about. That.
I dig them. I'm sorry." And I was there when Kingdom Come came out, and people just ragged that they
Yeah.
sounded like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, wait a minute.
Mhm.
I came from the 80s. Okay, 80s. Just about every band sounded like each other.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're gonna rag on one band for sounding like Led Zeppelin. They didn't sound exactly like them. Lenny
No.
Wolf had one of them voices,
Mhm.
and Greta Van Fleet, the dude, has one of them voices, and
Yeah.
it sounds good. And I don't care what you sound like, as long as you're not ripping the songs off and using all the licks and putting new words to it.
Mhm.
If you're doing this and the younger generation is finding you, and now by finding you, they're going back and looking up Led Zeppelin, Black
Yeah.
Sabbath, Deep Purple, you've done your job. And
Mhm.
thank you for turning these young people onto it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
It's
then
true.
bands like Band Inc., you guys are young, and you guys are you guys are leading the charge and going for it. And it's like, as long as we have bands coming up that are good, there's some crappy ones out there, but as long as they're good, and they keep pushing forward and carrying the flag, rock's not going to die. It's no way.
There's
Nobody
no
will
way.
let it.
No way. There's no way that it can die, because we're loud and we're gonna keep going.
And you got the attitude. I
We gotta
mean,
keep going,
you
and it's like,
gotta.
rock music has always been there for me, like, it's one of those things that, I remember when I was in high school, if I had a tough day and I'd have a gig at night, I just, go crazy on the vocals, have a good time, because then
Right.
it's kind of like an outlet for you. Rock music, like, it's not just a genre, it's a lifestyle. It's the
It's a
way you
lifestyle.
look, it's the way that you present yourself. It's not just a genre, and it's
No.
it's so cool when I get to meet other people who think that way. We become great friends.
Right. It's not it's an attitude. It's a
Mhm.
lifestyle. It's the way you think constantly. You constantly thinking rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's not like you can shut it off. I
Yeah.
mean, other people, they can, shut music off. They can do without it. We cannot function without it. We cannot see a world where rock music does not exist.
Yeah.
If it does, you know, back in the mid '90s,
Mhm.
um, it kind of went away. My love music went away, and it was
Mhm.
replaced with something that was depressing, and I did not like.
Yeah.
And my bands started to fall off. Nobody was doing anything. The
Yes.
Dawkins and everybody went away, and I
Yeah.
felt betrayed. I felt like there was nothing. I didn't listen to anything anymore. I'd pull out the old, you know, the old CDs and old vinyl, and here and there. But it was like, where did everybody go? Everybody left. But then in 2000, I realized, oh, this one released like an album here or an album there, and some did, but just wasn't prominent anymore.
Hmm.
And then it's still here, and I felt rejuvenated again. I'm like, okay, I didn't get left behind. Nobody forsaken me. No, it's like it's still here, but it had a hiccup because of
Yeah.
grunge,
Hmm.
and that's all.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah, it goes through periods of time where, it kind of disappears, but it never fully disappears. There's always, rock has one of the most loyal communities I've ever seen. It's like we love this type of music and we're there for it. So it's like even if it goes away, we're not gonna say goodbye to it. It's there
no,
for us. We can't say goodbye to it. We'll say see you later for a little bit, but it's there. you
it's
know,
still there.
say it's there forever. And it's just one of those things that it has to stay.
It has to. Now, is Band Inc. your first band?
Yeah, so I'll tell
Nice.
you how this whole thing started.
Let's
So
hear it.
when I was 16, it's one of my favorite stories to tell because it's like
Cool.
we're still going.
Exactly.
We're still going. When I was 16, I had this friend. She was 18. She was graduating high school, so she was 2 years older than me. And she told me, she's like, "Look, you're always telling me you want to start a band. I'm gonna give you a chance to start a band. I'm graduating. My parents are letting me have a party, and they said I could have a DJ. I don't want a DJ. I want a band. So you have like maybe 4 months. Try to get the band together, get a set list, and come
No
play."
pressure.
No pressure, no pressure at all. Because this is like my first independent thing where I was like, okay. And I'm the type of person who likes to do things well done. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
she gave me 4 months. Like it's not like I have a week. I can think this. So I went out and I found some of my, good friends from school who were musicians as well and who liked the same type of music. So we got together, at one of my friend's garage. Like she had a drum because she played drums.
Absolutely.
And I was like, okay, my friend's gonna graduate. Let's do like a set list. So we did a set list and I brought it to her to confirm because it's her party. I want
Right.
to the song. We went to Catholic school. So
Oh no way.
one of the songs was Highway to Hell. And she was like, well, you can't do this one. You can't do this one. My family, we can't do it. So I was like, okay, we'll scratch it off. So now there's 10 songs, not 11. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, that's fine. So we had 10
Nice.
songs. I think it was Summer of 69, Deep
Nice.
in My Heart, all the starter songs for rock and roll. So we'd practice like after school, we'd get together and the party came and went. We did the show and it was one of the things that I first led on my own. And I
Nice.
played bass and I sang. I think it was just four of us. And after that, I was done. I was like, okay, I did it. I finally put a band together and I did a show. I'm content about that. A few weeks go by and some local venues contacted us. They're like, oh, we see like some videos of you on Facebook. Apparently, like some of the parents were like recording and they put on
Huh.
Facebook. So the venues were like, oh, we didn't know that there was like a young band around, so we'd like to book you guys. So I'm on the phone and I'm talking with my friends who were in the band at that time. I'm like, they want to book us. Like I'm all
Wow.
excited. And the guy was like, okay, what do I put down? What's the band name? So we're looking at each other. We're like, we don't have a name. What are we gonna call ourselves? So I just pause. I'm like, Band Inc. Like the
Nice.
first thing that came to mind. And they're like, oh, cool. Like you just spell it out. Like it's super easy. So
Right.
we're like, okay, we have a band name now. And then people started book us under Band Inc. I'm like, now we can't change it.
Now you can't change it.
Now it was a space, filler. Now it's the name. So
Right.
I'm always the first one to poke fun at it. It's a small name, but it's easy to remember. It's easy to spell. It's short and so it
Exactly.
fits on most the banners. you
It
know.
does. It
So
can
it
fit. It's not gigantic, and you can read it. I
Yeah.
mean, some of these bands got stuff that they got their name, and it's like most of the time I know I'm not going to like them if I can't read their name. You
Hmm.
know, like Cattle Decapitation. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to like that band. I can't read their, you know,
Yeah.
can't read.
No,
It's all
100%.
screwed up. But yours is Band Inc. Bam.
It's
Just like,
easy to,
yeah, the
it's
song
easy to remember.
Damage Incorporated by Metallica. When I see your name, I think of it. I'm like, Band Incorporated. You
I know.
know,
It's funny. Me and my family, we still talk about it because they go to all of the shows, and my mom always tells me, she's like, it's funny. Like, imagine, like, if you could see yourself back then, and then it's like you're thinking of the band name. You couldn't we couldn't have thought of something more creative. It's like, no, band Dink. It's
well,
funny, but it
you
worked out. It worked out because, like you say, it's short and sweet. And sometimes I like to think of it as like people don't know what to expect with the name because, like you said, whatever that band name was, that was funny to me. You
Cattle
hear them,
Decapitation.
yeah, you probably think it's like this, oh, like heavy metal kind of band. It's like, Bandink, you really don't know. You don't know what we
You're
do
like,
until you like
huh?
see us. Yeah.
Not quite sure what this is going to be about. And like I checked you out. I'm like, okay. And I am a sucker for a female fronted band. I love a female fronted band. It works for me. Some people, don't like it, which I don't understand. But most are like, like Vixen. I love Vixen. I
Love
love
Vixen.
I
Yeah.
loved Femme Fatale. Them
Hmm.
them bands, Betsy Bitch back in the day, they were great. Lita Ford. It just
Lovely to Ford.
I
Yeah.
love a female fronted band. And
Yeah.
when I noticed Band Inc., I was like, oh wait, they're fronted by a female. I gotta check them out. And that was instant right then and there. I was like, okay, I dig it. And then I am a very big, okay, these vocals better work, and it's got it. And you have a great voice. So it
So
was,
much.
it was a no brainer.
Thank you.
And you can read your band name.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm probably going to like this.
That means a lot. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, female fronted rock. It's awesome because now I feel like there's a new wave of that. Growing
Right.
up when I was getting into all this rock music, there wasn't a like you had Joan Jett, you had Vixen, Lita
Right.
Ford was a big inspiration to me. But outside of that, there wasn't a lot of
No.
female fronted hard rock bands that we could listen to. So now to see so many other girls like fronting bands and like
Right.
killing it in the rock scene, it's awesome to see
Right.
because we have to have each other's backs. There's not a lot of us who do this, so it's
Right.
it's really great. It's great to see, and thank you for the support also. It's
Oh,
great
absolutely.
supporters
You
behind it.
you have like you said, there are good ones coming out. You have Cobra Spell, you
Yeah,
have
I
Burning
love
Witches.
Coverspell.
I mean, they're really good. Then you have
Yeah.
the Gems
Yeah.
that came from. Oh my God, what the hell was the name? But it's like there are female fronted bands, and you still have Doro Pesh putting out new
Yeah.
music. You have
Love
Shez Kane putting out music. The females are starting to just take it over and say, hey, where the guys are losing their voices, the females are going, ha ha, still got ours. And it's kind of funny and it's great.
Uh-huh. It's wonderful. It's so great to see. Like I said, like growing up there wasn't a lot, and now like I discovered more and more artists growing up, bands like Dora Pesh, she's a big inspiration to me, and others bands
Right.
like you said, Cobra Spell, who I love. I think they're incredible. It's you feel represented on stage, and to me that's very important because growing up when I would go see a band, you wouldn't see that a lot. It's always like a dude and he's always like,
Right.
singing. And I'm like, I want to see someone like me, I want to see someone like me
Right.
doing what I want to do. So it's
Right. And
definitely, yeah,
if you see a woman on stage, you believe that you can do it.
exactly.
If
Yeah, it's very
if I
inspiring.
see a doofus playing drums, I believe I can play drums. That hey, this doofus can do it too, I think. you know but once you see somebody, then you believe it. You believe, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. I'm gonna have to work hard, but I can do it. And
Hmm.
it's all about the work you put into it.
Is what you
It's
get
what
out
you
of it.
and this is exactly right. If you're in it to make money, you just go away because you're going to be sadly disappointed. Most people aren't in it to make money anymore. People ask me, they're like, "Hey, you have a radio station and this and that. Does it make money?" I'm like, "No, it costs a lot. It does not make money.
Yeah.
It's a passion, and you have a passion for music, and you'd love to make money at it, and someday you probably will. I'm almost positive of that. But
Being an artist is definitely passion.
passion,
I absolutely love what I do. Being able to go on stage is where I feel the most comfortable. Like when I like talk to friends, sometimes I'm still kind of shy. Like when I'm making new friends, like, "Hi, how are you?" But when I can put my foot on a stage and I can be in front of them, like that's where I'm most comfortable. I'm very passionate about what I do, and same goes for writing. Me and my guitar player. Before I met him, actually, I wrote a lot. I wrote by myself a lot, which is kind of difficult because you don't have that other set of ears to kind of tell you like, "Oh, maybe this will work, maybe this will work." But no, it's you spend hours writing. It's if you didn't like it, it's not the right field for you because you really gotta
right,
love it. You spend hours writing and writing and recording, so it's
right.
definitely a passion thing.
Okay, now I want to get to this. I
Okay.
told everybody that I had a video of you
Okay.
singing a
I'm
song,
kind of
and
nervous. What is this? I don't even.
okay, well, I'll tell you what it is. You did this one, and you know what it is. One of my okay, I'm going to tell everybody.
Okay.
I'm a soft guy. The looks and everything like that. Whatever. You ask my wife, she'll be like, he's a big teddy bear, softy. I cry at Rocky. I'm very emotional. I watch, and I love this movie. It was called A Star Is Born.
I love A Star Is
I
Born.
know you
One of my
do.
all-time favorites. Wait, which one? The new one or
You
there's
did I'll Never Love Again.
Oh, I love that song. Oh, thank
I
you
know,
so much.
and you're like, did this, and I wanted to show because we know that you got the rock vocals down. We know that you can belt it. We know, but I watched this and I was like, she can rein it in and she can blow it out, and I just wanted everybody to see this. So we're gonna
Thank
do this video and just show you with a microphone and emotion. I just absolutely love this.
you.
So this is Giuliana covering Lady Gaga's I'll Never Love Again.
Wish I could have said goodbye. I would have said what I wanted to, maybe even cried for you. If I knew, could have been the last time, I would have broke my heart in two, trying to save a part of you. Don't wanna feel another touch, don't wanna start another fire, don't wanna know another kiss, while the name falling off my lips. Don't wanna give my heart away to another stranger, or let another day begin. Won't even let the sunlight in. No, I'll never love again. I'll never love again. Ooh. Oh, when we first met, I never thought that I would fall. I never thought that I'd find myself lying in your arms. And I wanna pretend that it's not true. Oh, baby, that you're gone. this feeling unless it's you and me. I don't wanna waste a moment. Ooh. And I don't wanna give somebody else the better part of me. I would rather wait for you. Don't wanna feel another touch. Don't wanna start another fire. Don't wanna know another kiss. Baby, let's on your lips. Don't wanna give my heart away to another stranger. Don't let another day begin. Won't even let the sunlight out. No, I'll never love again. I'll never love again.
Wow. And there's it was popping up as Facebook user and this and that. One was Jen Rather, a girl I know that just absolutely is a rock chick. Just it's very. She was like, wow, that voice. Michelle Storm. She runs Hairspray Heaven Facebook group, and she's another one that was just like, damn, Teresa Kendall, stunning. So I wanted to give a name to some of these comments. Rich Bruce in here, just
Yes.
absolutely. I wanted to show the other side of you because,
Thank you.
I got to know the rock chick version and, which is your heart.
Mhm.
But you're not, you have layers and it just to show that you have an extremely amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was seeing everyone come. I didn't know their names, so thank you for telling me. And
Yes.
for everyone who's watching, I see your kind words. Thank you so much. It really means the world.
You're
Um,
going to
you
get a lot of Facebook friend requests tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, something that I don't talk a lot about and a lot of people know is I absolutely love singing ballads. And I personally am a very big fan of Lady Gaga. She was one of my first concerts. I saw her back in '09
Wow.
when she first came out. I talk about rock style wise, like vocally, but my style, the way I present myself, she was a big influence to me because she really taught me that it's like don't care what anyone thinks about you. If you like the way that you look and the way you dress, that's all that matters. So she, not only as an artist but as like this person with, image wise, she was a big hero to me. So I love any chance that I get, like when I have any free time. Like I did that video actually when I got back from some shows that we were doing. So I was like, I have some time, I'm gonna record that cover. And it's been wonderful to see everyone's response because I genuinely love to sing that stuff. So knowing that people
Right.
like that, I'm gonna do more of that now.
Right.
So,
And you know what? You see a lot of people doing, like, I first found Shez Kane.
yeah, she's
She was,
awesome.
yes, and she was doing little videos on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then Danny Rexon brought her in and started, she's got 2 albums out under her belt now, and but to see her sing, certain songs and see that emotion on her face, and you know, seeing yours, it's just, I love that. I mean, I'd love to see. I love to see what you're feeling when you're singing that song, and it's like, wow, it just gets you.
Thank you. It's
And
"I'll Never Love Again" that's an emotional song because it's like
very,
when you're an artist, it's like you got to put yourself in that headspace. So a lot of times when I do stuff like this, I'm kind of by myself, and I just kind of put myself in this little bubble where I'm like, okay, what goes with this song? How am I gonna get the person watching this to feel this? So it's like you got to really put yourself in that headspace. And that song, every time I watch that movie, I get a little emotional. You're not alone. I'm an emotional
I
person too. So I, start to get teary eyed watching that because it's an incredible story.
It
The
is. It's such a good movie, and every time the wife tells me, "Hey, Star is Born," we'll be scrolling. She'll be like, "Hey, Star is Born." I'm like, "Here we go. Get the
Here
tissues.
comes the waterworks.
I'm gonna need them again." And you know exactly what's gonna happen, but you can't stop it. It's just.
Exactly.
And Lady Gaga, she gets a lot of flack, but God, is she fantastic?
She can
She's
do anything,
anything.
she does pop. She came out as a pop star, right? And then she
Right.
did all this stuff. And then we see her like perform with Metallica, and then
Right.
she performs with Tony Bennett, and then she does theater and
Dude.
then acting. It's like,
The
what can't she
Tony
do?
Bennett stuff was amazing. I
It
was
was.
like, I watched that. I was floored on just how good she is. I knew she was good. And
Mhm.
you just know. And you're just like, wow. She really is one of them that could just yeah, the pop star, that's where the money's to be made, and we all know that.
Yeah.
But what attracted me to her is she's a fan of Iron Maiden, and
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite bands. So I was like, I don't give a shit. I like her, and her acting, and then she's just one of them performers that you watch her at a piano, and you watch her and just watch her, and you just cannot help but get sucked in.
Yeah, to me, she is a true artist. That is
Yes.
someone who loves what they do. That is something like you can see it in all of her performances. She loves what she does. And, she's just incredible. I don't know, I could go on and on, but she's one of my heroes in the music world, definitely.
Okay, Crispy Borel.
Hi, Crispy.
It's the queen of insanity herself. How you doing? Sounds like somebody knows you.
I know, yeah. So, Queen of Insanity. Thank you for reminding me, Crispy, because I was going on and on about Lady Gaga. You know me. I talk to him all the time about
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Queen is another one of yours. If you go to YouTube and search Giuliana, you will find her doing Queen as well, which was it was tough choosing which, but I had to go with the Gaga.
Thank you. No, Queen is. I just saw the live show, and another thing I get emotional is when they do. They bring out the Freddie hologram. I'm like, oh my god, I never even got to see him live, and I still feel
Never
like
have.
this attachment to an artist who had, and again, huge, inspiration to me growing up. I'd spend hours on YouTube watching videos of Wembley, or that I believe it was like the Rainbow in London. There was like a venue
Mm,
called London, and they did like a live album I'd listen to all the time.
right.
But Queen of Insanity, which is what my friend Christy was talking about, is actually going to be our next single, which
Oh,
we wrote
nice.
together. And it's a song I'm excited to release. So yeah, I might throw that in there while I remember, because I kind of don't remember stuff sometimes. I get so excited.
When can we maybe expect it?
By the end of this year, that is the goal
Whoa!
now. So very soon, very soon.
Very soon.
We're actually recording the video. But it's going to be our first music video, so that's why we're kind of taking our
Very
time with
cool.
it. We're trying to make it. I'm a perfectionist, as I said before. Like, I like to have time to work on things, that way I can feel really happy about it. Me and Crispy, we work well together in that. We're like, okay, let's really put our minds together and try to get this going. So by the end of this year, Queen of Insanity, which will be Band Inc.'s fourth album and first music video, will be out. So that's something to look forward to.
Nice. Yes. And it will be on the rock altar, people. So damn right.
Thank you so much. And thank you for playing our tune, Ruined Myself. That's
Oh,
a
absolutely. Once, there's ones you forget to load stuff on. I mean, I get so much stuff, and it's like you get buried in it. And then when I saw the voice, I was like, wait a minute. And I looked and I'm like, I don't have any band ink on. How is this possible? So I was like, okay, bam. I uploaded like 3 or whatever.
Thank
And
you.
but it's like you forget to get stuff. No, I had one on there. What was it? Midnight Rider.
Midnight Rider,
They had
yeah.
Midnight Rider on there.
First single we ever released,
Yep.
for my grandpa. That's his song, 'cause he's a motorcycle guy, and he's my
Yes.
best friend. So I was like, the first song we got to release is for him. So that one, and we're so grateful for the response it got. A lot of people like the song, and it makes me happy to think that, because it's a special song for me. So thank you to those who listen, and thank you for streaming the song.
And if you go to YouTube and search Giuliana, you will see a video of her performing at the Portuguese Music Awards and
Yes.
performing Midnight Rider, which was absolutely very cool.
It was insane because, so if for those of you who don't know, I'm Portuguese, Portuguese American, first generation. I'm the only member in my family born in America. So I'm very
Nice.
proud of my Portuguese culture. My family's from Portugal. And when the band got nominated for, it was New Talent of the Year, what we had to do was we had to perform the song. And at the time I was actually the only original member, so they had like the backing band, and I was like, all right, I'll go play this song, and we won. It was crazy.
Nice.
It was 2,500 people, and I was like, oh my god, like my mom was so excited. My whole family was. We were just, because it's an event that we had been going to for years now, to see a lot of artists from Portugal. They come to America and they perform at, it's the PPAC in Rhode Island. And
Very nice.
it was crazy to get to share the stage with a lot of incredible artists, and we won, so that was awesome.
That's icing on the cake right there.
It's a good
Icing
night.
on the cake. Yeah. Now we all know Juliana was on The Voice, and she didn't get the turnaround, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And that's just it's one of them avenues, and most people that win these competitions or whatever, except for Carrie Underwood. Most that win them or go through them don't really amount to anything. It's the ones that don't make it, or the ones that make it to the first round but then they're gone. Them ones are usually the ones that they work a little harder. And I don't see this being as you know a bad thing for you. This
No,
was a hugely good, positive thing for you.
absolutely. And I'm actually so happy I get to like talk about the whole thing, because like for the longest time I couldn't say anything, and
Right.
I don't like to keep secrets. It's not that I'm bad at it. I just don't like to keep secrets.
Right.
I'm a very open book type of person.
But
But
then in our business, we keep a lot of secrets because we know stuff and we can't tell anybody. The artists, like bands, will tell me something to get it off their chest, and then I sit there and go, "Oh, you jerk!"
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I'll tell my mom, because she really doesn't mind. She's good
right?
at that. So I'll just kind of rant to her. And she was the one person who knew, like, this whole time. Later on in the process, I slowly started to tell my grandparents. Usually I tell them stuff right away, but the closer that it got, I was like, okay, I gotta tell you something, you know. But no, it was an incredible experience. I am just so thankful to have gotten the chance to
Right.
go. This whole thing started about like a year ago. I actually got scouted for it. I didn't even know how to audition. I had no idea how you submit anything. For
Right.
years, I had people like telling me like, "Oh, you should definitely try out." I'm like, I don't know how to. I really don't know. And I would get these emails like, "Oh, The Voice," and I'm like, I'm a rock singer. Like, I don't think this is real. I thought it was a scam. You get those.
Right. One of them scam emails.
So I'm like, all right, whatever, like go through the rest of my email. And like a few weeks got by and I started getting like these phone calls, and I picked up and like, hello. And they're like, hi, you haven't responded to any of our emails. Like, we're actually really interested in having like, rock, like something new, like a rock singer on the show. I'm like, oh my God, so it is legit. Like, this is actually real. Like, okay. And I talked to my mom about it and everything, and she's my go-to person for everything. I'll ask her like, is this like legit? And I show everything, and she'd do a deep dive. She's like, no, it's legit. So like, if you want to go, like, go ahead.
Right.
And I ended up going, and I was given the song Rainbow in the Dark, and I was like, oh my God, I get to sing like a song that I love, a genre that I love, by an artist that I love. And when I got the song, I was like, you know what? There's not a lot of rock singers that go on the show. So like whatever happens, happens. I'm just incredibly thankful for this opportunity. I'm
Right.
happy that I get to, I'm from a small town, so I get to represent my small town in a way and, get to sing music that I love and do something different. I'm just thankful for that. To me, whatever
Right.
happens, happens. And, it aired and it was funny, like after it was over, there was like a few seconds of silence, and then all of a sudden my phone said, like, I saw you on TV, I saw you on TV. And I couldn't even promote it. I was just kind of was watching it at home, and all my friends. It's so crazy because everyone, I guess, was watching the show that night. They're like, I don't know, it was just on, and then I saw you. It's like,
Right.
that's good. That's good. You got to see me. But in the end, I'm just so incredibly thankful for the opportunity. Really,
So they picked the song for you.
they did. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
And
And
I
they
was,
picked a good one.
I know. I was like, that's a good pick. Rainbow in the dark. Hell yeah.
Right. That is kind of, off the wall kind of, and I'm shocked that they even recognize who Dio is.
I
I mean,
know.
really.
Because it's, the voice is one of those things. It's like mainstream. So it's like,
Mainstream. Why would it be like an AC/DC or an Aerosmith or something like that?
yeah.
They went, wow, okay, I got a little bit of new respect for the
Yeah.
voice.
It's like, all right, cool. It's Dio is an artist I have a lot of respect for.
Oh
And,
God, yes.
one of my heroes, in the rock and metal world. So, to be able to do that song, I was like, cool, I get to do that,
Wow.
so get to rep, Dio on TV.
Nice. That's fantastic. So you had a blast, and now it's more power forward. I mean, just
Yeah, keep
yeah,
going, like we
right,
said early on, the harder the more hard work you put is what you get out of it. And I always tell everyone, the hard work, the farther you go, because
right,
it's especially being an artist, you keep going, you keep going. There's no breaks. You keep going, you
right.
keep going.
And there's going to be challenges, and there's going to be, bumps in that road, but it's how you persevere and how you keep going, and this, that, the other thing. I'm not an artist. I don't do anything. I do this and a radio station. And believe me, there's bumps in the road. There's so many times I reach out to an artist and, okay, I might send 10, 15 emails out and get zero responses. And yeah, that's a bump in the road. I sit there and go, what am I doing wrong? And then I want to crawl into a hole, which I'd imagine, happens to artists too. They think, okay, this didn't happen. I didn't, but you don't. You get out of that hole and you go, I just keep going because it something's you got to work hard to get what you want.
Absolutely. And it's like, as an artist, that for me is what writing is for. Definitely everyone's been through tough stages,
Right.
and there are, I never was the type to say, oh, I'm, gonna take some time. And no, I would like open my notebook, I'd write about it, and I'd use that journal as like a lyric sheet kind of. And I'm like, okay, this sadness or like whatever it is, I'm gonna put it in art form, and I'm actually gonna put it in a song. That way, if someone can hear it and they can relate to it, they're like, okay, I'm not alone in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, I'm not going to let anything stop me from trying to, get my music out there, or stop me from performing, because, life gets tough, but we keep going. We keep rocking
Keep
out.
going.
We keep rocking out.
We're
What it's
rock
like,
and rollers, man.
exactly. It's like
We
what
don't know
AC/DC
quit.
says. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. That's my life motto.
And it's also a hell ain't a bad place to be most of the time too. Hey, and that's the truth. I mean, and
Mhm.
you are I see a bright future. I see,
Thank you.
just more positives than negatives coming your way
Thank you.
easily. You've got that, what you want, and you're going after it. And, I'm so happy for you. And I just, continued success in everything you do. If you
Thank
need me to promote anything or anything, just reach out, and I'd be happy to.
Thank you so much. And you are such an incredible person. I was so excited when you reached out. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited because I've seen your show and you do an incredible job. And you are an artist. I know you said you don't, but this is an art. You're
It
getting
is.
out there. So you are an artist and you're doing a fantastic job. And thank you so
Hey,
much for
it's
having
just my job to promote you all. I mean,
me.
if there's other guys like me, like Jim Hamby does it, and we all try to, there's no competition. We just, he's got ones that he gets out, and I get certain people out. He watches me, I watch him, and whatever it is to get new music or artists stage here to get it out there. That's what you're supposed to do. Facebook is supposed to be used. Facebook and YouTube and TikTok can be used for more important things than slapping somebody around or hating on this person or this or that and the negatives. There's so many negatives. You got to bring some kind of positive.
100%, and we all got to be there for each other. Positivity. Right. We got to help each other out, and especially being in like the rock world. Rock used to be like the biggest genre in the world, and now it's kind of become a community almost. We got to be there for each other. We got to have each other's back. So
gotta have each other's
positivity, back. And you're doing a great job at it. You're spreading it out, making everybody happy.
Hey, music's supposed to make everybody happy. So, hey, how can I not be happy? How can I not be spreading joy when I got artists like you on? I mean, come on. You make me look good. I mean, y'all make me look good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anything else you want to put out there? Like any shows coming up that you want to throw out there before we end?
Absolutely. Before anything, I just want to thank everyone for the support, everyone who tuned in. It never goes unnoticed. Your support for not only for me, but for my band as well. Thank you so much. You guys, it's
Absolutely.
because of you guys that we're able to do what we love. So thank you for watching. We do have some more music coming out at the end of the year. Like I mentioned, our single Queen of Insanity. I have on my personal social medias, I have shared some snippets of it. So if you're curious and you kind of want to see what the newer stuff sounds like, you can check out my Instagram. It's I typed out my full name right here because it's kind of a long name. It's my username for everything, Giuliana Lucia Amaral. You can also find Band Inc. on social media, usually just at Band Inc. Or Instagram is at band_Inc. As far as shows go, we do have one show that I'm very excited about. It's in the New York area. I can never say it right. I'm so sorry. Pachiku. It's at Stereo Garden. We're opening for Ace Frehley November 11th.
Bam!
Oh my God, you got it!
I got it!
Thank you. You just saved me because I can never say the town right. Thank you. We're so excited for this show. It'll be our third time, I believe, opening up for Ace Frehley. A lot of new stuff that will be debuting at this show. So if you're from the area and you'd like to, experience us live and in concert, you could check us out. This is a great show to attend. And other than that, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to everyone who's been rocking out with us on this journey.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna gain more and more and more as you go. I've heard the little snippets, and I like what I hear. So I already know it's going in the right direction. And I wanted to get you on here before you became really big and forgot about the little guys like me. I mean, I could look back on this one day and go, oh my God, I knew her when she was just 21, 22 years old, and she still thought I was okay, and now she
I'll still come back and I'll say, you're still great. You're still great.
You'll be doing coliseums and shit. And I'll be like, can I get an interview? You'd be like, anything. Okay. Cool.
Thank you so much. You're incredible. This has been so awesome. Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun. I want to leave, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna leave with your performance on The View. Oh my God, on The Voice. I hate that.
It's close. It's close. It was on TV.
Yeah, it was on TV. One of them shows on TV. One of them. I actually don't mind The Voice. The View, I could do without. But heard Giuliana doing Dio's Rainbow in the Dark. Very cool. Just awesome. Fantastic performance.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for being here, and you have a great rest of your night, and best of luck in the future. And like I said, if you need anything ever, reach out.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Giuliana, what a great person. I mean, I love her. Like I said, okay, next week I'm off. I'm not doing anything. And I don't know what I'm going to schedule after that. Next week I have a wedding to do. I'm actually officiating a wedding. So I'm taking time all next week to make sure that I do this right. I got to do this. Officiating a wedding. It's not religious, so don't worry about that. I'm not going to be like an ordained minister or nothing like that. They said they want me to be me. Well, they don't know what they're getting into. But anyway, I want to focus on that, so I don't have a show coming up next week. In November, I'm going to start booking. If you want to get on here and talk and chat and get your music out there, hit me up, send me a message. If you know a band that you think, man, they need to get on your show, send me a link, send me a message. I'll check them out and see if they want to come on. But yeah, I'm booking for November and December. Maybe not December. I might take December off. Anyway, but y'all have a great rest of your night. Here is Giuliana on The Voice doing Dio's Rainbow in the Dark. Enjoy and go like her pages. Go support Band Inc. Support Giuliana. She's one of the good ones. Y'all have a good night.